Hello everyone, students. Today I'm going to teach you in HTML and CSS how to make animations. Okay, animations is always very interesting topic for all of us because we are able to have some motions, some movements. Okay, to start off with, I'm going to teach you how to make the arrow. This is the arrow which is being here, and how to move that arrow, and how to also change the color of it. As we gradually move, we understand the basics of it. Then students, some big examples could also, advanced animations can also be added, wherein we are changing the background, also is a movement, and something like this. So let's start gradually, students, how to understanding making animations using Visual Studio Code. Okay, so for today I'm going to teach you how to make a small arrow which can be animated. So let me come to the Visual Studio. Let me add a new file. Let's name it, say, animation1.html. Okay, and HTML code. We have the head tag. So student, it is very much repetitive in our examples. Okay, animation using CSS. I'll give a title to it. There will be a body tag. Now within the body we need to add an arrow. Okay, and student, how to add an arrow is, we don't have to of course make the arrow from draw it or something. We can go to search, and from search you can type your HTML arrows. It will give me a very good website link in the first search itself with the name toptal.com. If you go here, student, not only you will get different arrows which can be used in our HTML pages, but we get plenty of other symbols too. Like you can see currency symbols which can be used, math symbols are there. So this is a very good website. I will request you to take a note of this. Is the name is toptal.com. Okay, and I'll be using in my example arrows. So I'll search for, say, dashed arrow. When I just type dash, I can see different arrows coming up here. Though we are going to make a downward arrow in, as we can see in our output, but for now I'm going to use the right symbol, right sign arrow. It can be changed, friends. So I want to show you how it can be changed also. So this is the dash arrow, a right side arrow. I'll need to select the HTML code from here, copy it, come back to our Visual Studio, and if you notice, it was not an image, it's not a PNG file, so I'll not be adding image source, but since we are going to customize it, I'll be adding a class file, customize it using CSS, and then paste my arrow here. Okay, now so there will be customization done to this arrow, so that will be happen through the CSS file. So let me link in the head tag the CSS file which is not yet been created. I'll write style sheet. Okay, and href, I'll name a CSS file, say animation1.css. so I'm going to now do animation in my using my CSS file. So let me add a file, students, in with the name, the new file. Go to new file, write give the name, same name, animation1.css. okay, and the symbol which we have used, is, okay, the div tag class name is arrow, so I'll be referring with the same name. So go to animation, refer with the name dot arrow, and now we can write what features we want for the arrow. First, I'll like to change the font size of the arrow. Okay, see, I've given a wrong CSS. Okay, so that's why, see, the intelligence system was not working. Okay, so I'll remove it, delete it. Let me go to new file, animation1.css. okay, and now dot arrow. Okay, now let me write the font size. I want to change the font size, say, to 48 pixel. Text align, text aligned, I want it on the center. Text align center, and position should be relative. Why relative, student, is that relative means, okay, it will be like if you add some new, okay, images or add some new features, it will be aligned accordingly. Absolute means is a fixed position, so I want to keep it flexible, so I'll write relative. Okay, when I save my work, you can just check this out how it looks. For now, this is my animation file. I've created new file, animation1 this time. right click and show it in the browser. Okay, yes, so we can see a right symbol arrow which is coming and it is center aligned. Okay, now student, some more properties. So it's very easy, student, some 2-3 lines of code and you can get some outputs. Okay, now what I want to do is there's a property with the name transform. Transform means, of course, we want to change the complete look of the arrow. So I can write transform and I can use, okay, an attribute here with the name rotate. In rotate, students, by the, if I write up here 90 degree, okay, so now you see, though I've used a right arrow, it was right arrow use, refresh, it becomes down. So it is, we have rotated to 90 degrees. If I go here and can be specified in minus negatives also, so now it will be the opposite of the 90, that is down arrow, it will become up arrow now. Okay, so we can transform the images to, right now I am rotating it to 90 degrees. Okay, so downwards arrow. Now let's add some animation to it. Now this is the interesting part, student, which comes up, how to add animations. Okay, student, for adding animations means what is, actually animation is divided into frames. There would be, okay, when in the technical term we call as frames. Okay, and we can decide on a duration of the animation. Say this arrow is to be moved, okay, say for 5 seconds or 1 second. So within 1 second, which all frame should appear? Okay, I'll explain you with the practical itself. So we need to decide on basis on frames. So how we write it, student, is that it's a new term for you. We write at the rate keyframes. At the rate keyframes. At the rate keyframe means we tell that, okay, what all frames should change in that particular image. Okay, at the rate keyframes, and which all frames should come at the rate keyframes. So there are going to be not one frame, there will be many frames. Okay, and I'll give a name to it, say bounce, any name we can write. I'm writing bounce arrow. Okay, and this, but then some more information would be typed here. Okay, we can write here like this: when we start, in the start of the arrow, at the 0%, what should be there? Okay, and how will I will let you know. So what we do further, student, is that this, whatever I'm going to write further, I'm going to link it with this arrow. Okay, and how we do it is that we write a property with the name animation. I tell, okay, now arrow, you are going to be animated, and this animated information about you is going to come from where? Is going to come from this bounce arrow frames. Okay, and the basic features, you, for how long you will be animated, you will be animated for the 1 second. Okay, and it will be for just for one time or continuous. So I'm writing infinite. Infinite means it should be continuously being animated. Okay, so student, now we can discuss what exactly will happen when I write here 1 second. 1 second means in 1 second, okay, these keyframes would be called. Within 1 second, this keyframe would be called, and whatever I write here, say I write here 0%, 50%, and 100%. This means what, student, is that within 1 second, within 1 second, okay, there would be three tasks happening, three things happening. When the arrow is at 0%, at that time something should happen. When the arrow within 1 second is reaches to 50%, something should happen. And when it comes to 100%, at the end of the 1 second, we are about to reach the end of the 1 second, then what should happen? Okay, so we are dividing this 1 second into small frames, students. Okay, and how we do it is that I can write here at the start, if you notice. Okay, in our example, at the start, it is on the top, then see, it is happening in within 1 second. Okay, going down, coming up, going down, it's happening in 1 second. Okay, so what I will do here is I will tell him, like, when it starts, let the top of the arrow be at the 0 pixel. Okay, so at the start position of the arrow, so let the top of the arrow be at the 0 pixel, top 0 pixel. Okay, and when it reaches, when the 1 second is about to over, when the 100% of 1 second is about to over, let the top position of the arrow reach back to 0 pixel. Okay, and but when it is in the within the 1 second, when it is at the 50%, okay, what should happen? Let the top position of the arrow be changed to 50 pixel. Okay, so let's save the work, come back to our animation one. Where is animation one? This is animation. Okay, and we have this animation one. Refresh the page. Yes, students, so now you can see that the arrow is now moving downward. So we have divided the 1 second into 3 frames. 0%, what should happen? Okay, it should be at the 0 pixel. 50% it should go down, and that at the 100 pixel it should come back up. Student, to make you understand more, if I change to 5 pixel, let's see what change happens. Save it, refresh the page. Okay, so see now we are taking a delay, so the frame is divided to 5 seconds. When in the start, the 5 seconds, this is the start, 0 percentage stop. Then when it to 50 percentage is when to, okay, 50 pixel. And when it comes to 100 percentage, it should come back to the top. So I hope you understand, student. Okay, it's very important that you know what is happening here. If I change this infinite to just 2, okay, and when I refresh my page, you can see now one time, okay, two time, and now it should stop. Yes, so now the animation is stopped. Okay, so it's easy, student, if you understand. It's like dealing with each the within the stimulated time, what all changes should happen. We are indicating it in a percentage wise and with the keyframe symbol. Okay, it's not only like I can change just the position of it. Now we can play around with it, students. If I want that the color should change, so I can add more features here at the 0%. Okay, or say what should be the color. Okay, so I can write it here, students. Say when you start off with, okay, in the start I want the color to be, say, yellow. Okay, so let me come here, I'll write color. Okay, in the start of it the color should be, what color? Say color should be yellow. Okay, and when it reaches to 50 percentage, I want the color to change to, say, black. Okay, so I can write in the frame for 50% color change to black. Okay, done. Save your work, come back to your page, refresh your page. Okay, so student, we are able to animate things. Okay, so I'll be posting more tutorials about how to animate, like more graphics can be added, but student, this is the start for it. Okay, just understand how things are. Is about HTML CSS, nothing new is been done, student. We are not introduced you yet to JavaScript. We are just talking about HTML and CSS only. I hope you like this video and please give a try to it. Okay, it's really interesting. Thank you.